Big Boss sa tatag, Big Boss sa tibay, Big Boss Cement tatag na, di basta bibigay. Nandito na ang Big Boss Cement. Matatag, di basta matitibag. Approve sa kalikasan at sobrang abot kaya. Big Boss Cement, Big Boss sa tatag, Big Boss sa tibay, Big Boss sa tatag, Big Boss sa tibay.
Yun. The Northern Swing, Stage 11. Magandang gabi muli mga ka-BM. Once again, welcome to BM Cycling Stage 11. 11th episode na po tayo ngayong araw. At ibig sabihin nito ay nakatatlong buwan na tayo on air. Ang BM Cycling mula nung inaugural episode natin noong December 14. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat mga ka-BM, ang buong BM Cycling Management, ang aming mga partners, ang mga guests at syempre kayo po, mga aming avid viewers. And this also means 2 more Mondays and then kompleto na natin ang ating first season. We will be done with our first season. Ika nga, too fast, too soon. Hindi siya fast and furious pero too fast and too soon. So gaya ng nakaugalian natin every Monday, we'll be here for 1.5 hours. At salamat din sa aking kasama, si Commissar 3, si Sunshine Joy Vallejos, ang unang female commissar for road ng Pilipinas. sa pagsama niya sa atin sa likod at sa harap ng ating camera. Isa't kalahating oras niyo po akong makakasama ngayong hapon at kasama natin ay ating nag-iisang panauhin, Pandangal. One-on-one tayo, maya-maya lang, with no other than the young and energetic Governor of Ilocos Norte, only 32 years old, a most outstanding Ilocano in 2019, the son of Senator Amy Marcos, and champion basketball coach and champion golfer, Tommy Manotoc. Let's welcome, mga ka-BM, Governor Matthew Joseph Marcos Manotoc. Governor Matthew, welcome to BM Cycling.
Hi, June. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah. Hi, Gov.
Hi, kumusta po?
Yeah, kumusta din? We're good. Medyo maulan dito sa Metro Manila. Ayun, okay na, Gov.
Thank you for having me. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. I hope the weather is okay there.
Yeah, naka-national team, warmer ka.
Yeah, ano lang. Fake national team po ako. Gift lang ng PSC, mga kaibigan po natin.
Mm-hmm. Kumusta po dyan sa Ilocos Norte ngayon? Ang weather, ang situation sa pandemic, Governor?
Okay naman po. It's more or less been steady lang and controlled since the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Nagka-outbreak lang ng konti sa Lawag in our capital. Mm-hmm. But besides that, very low naman yung cases. I think under 50 now yung active cases. So walang problema po dito.
Actually, about the same time last year, we were discussing with your people sa sports people ninyo, sina Helen Molina, kasi yung Tour de Filipinas, we intended to finish sa Lawag last year. We did already several surveys in Ocular. Kaso nga, nagka-pandemic. So sayang, maybe next year we will go back and knock on your doors again. Dalhin namin dyan yung Tour de Filipinas. International cycling race yun. It's a 4-day race. May mga foreign teams. So anyway, Governor, bago natin i-discuss yung event ninyo sa Sabado, kasi may malaki kayong event sa this Saturday, yung Ilocos Tour, Cycling Tour, right? Go?
Yep, opo, ICT.
Okay. Yes, sa ano muna tayo? Sa the use of bicycles dyan sa Ilocos Norte during the pandemic. Is the scenario there, yung situation there, nagkaroon din ba ng cycling boom? Naubusan din ba ng mga bike shops ng mga binibenta nila kasi lahat nagbibisikleta?
Yeah, I think my increased sales po sa mga bike shops. And in fact, it's something that I've been trying to push with my uncle, the mayor of Lawag, Mayor Kion. Kasi, in fact, Lawag is getting very congested, no? And that's one of I keep pushing to him na I want to make Lawag City a biking city, you know, and a walking city. In fact, I think nakikita po natin sa ibang bansa, especially sa Europe, for example, bikes are the most popular means of transportation, no? Yes. And very, of course, green, no? Very healthy, and it's much more conducive sa urban setting, no? So we actually allotted budget to make Lawag a biking city with biking lanes and such. Kaya lang, medyo parang hindi pa sanay ang Ilocano sa biking. So I'm not sure if talagang magka-catch on, especially kasi dito sa Ilocos, sobrang init.
Yes, correct.
Ang nickname nga ng Lawag City is the Sunshine City. So I'm not sure kung paano yung mga workers pag in the middle of the day, no? But we're looking at ways to slowly introduce itong biking component.
Yeah, kasi I've been to Lawag and Ilocos Norte several times yung Marlboro Tour, and meron namang provisions pa sa mga highways ninyo, kalsada ninyo for the bike lane, right? No?
Yeah, meron naman po. We have our bike lanes. Medyo hindi pa drawn out masyado, no? Maybe yung paint medyo nag-fade na. But nandun naman po, may space. And we're really pushing for this, no? We're very keen on making Lawag a but not just bike friendly, but really a biking city.
Actually, perhaps you were very young then. Yung Marlboro Tour, pag nagkakaroon ng rest day, it's almost always halawag ang rest day. Gustong-gusto ng mga organizers mag-rest day dyan kasi nakakapag may malapit sa dagat, then may entertainment, etc. And then, siyempre, andyan yung empanada and yung Mickey.
Yeah, sa Batak Empanada, our famous orange empanada
Yeah.
na may longganisa. But totoo po yun, I think Ilocos Norte siguro is one of the best biking destinations. Pagdating po sa scenery, no? We're very blessed here in Ilocos Norte. We have an abundance of landscapes, no? Yung diversity po talaga ng environment namin. We have our sand dunes, we have
Yes.
yung coastal, of course, Pagudpud, no? The white sand beaches. We even have the sand dunes of Paway. We have the dense forest and the Cordillera on the east side. So talagang lahat po nandito po sa Ilocos Norte.
At ng elements of nature are there.
Opo.
Yeah, siguro hindi lang pwede mag-bike dun sa sand dunes, sa lapas, sa Paway. Ibang
Yeah,
sport.
medyo
Yeah, ibang sport naman doon. Ngayon, Gov, punta na tayo. I understand you have a very busy schedule for on a Monday. So punta na tayo doon sa Ilocos Tour, Cycling Tour 3, Intayon. Diba? Yung Intayon is come on or let's go, diba? Kasi I know siguro hindi rin ako mabibenta sa Ilocano dahil I'm from Pangasinan, Region 1 din tayo. I grew up and I was born in raised sa Pangasinan, so Ilocos region din. So yun, can you expound on the Ilocos Cycling Tour 3? Pangatlo na pala to. So, Intayon this Saturday, February 27.
Yeah, ito na po ang third leg ng ICT po natin, Ilocos Cycling Tour. Nag-start po kami late last year kahit may pandemya po. We had our first leg. We had around 300 participants, if I'm not mistaken. And then a few months ago, we had our second leg na may parang, I think, nasa bandang 600. And this Saturday po, we already have 800 participants. Yes. So, alam niyo po, this wasn't only a strategy to, of course, make our bikers happy and our cyclists happy, but it was more so an effort to revitalize our small businesses, no, and our tourism sector. Na alam po natin talagang hard hit sa pandemya po na to. So we really wanted to get tourism going, to basically let everyone know na safe po dito sa Ilocos Norte. Our safety protocols have been in place since the beginning. In fact, I think kami yung isa sa mga una na nag-shut down ng border and we declared a quarantine even before the national government. So we want everyone to feel safe, to have no worries, no, or concerns pagpasok po dito sa Ilocos, and know that the event is run very professionally, very safely, and with all of the health protocols in place.
If you would allow Gov, direct yung poster, then we show the poster, yung sa mukha ko na lang. Yung sa pwesto ko.
Hindi, kahit sa akin, June, kasi mas gwapo ka eh. I-replace mo na lang yung mukha ko.
Ayun, nasa na? Yan, nakwento nga ni Helen sa akin na baka 800 na yung, ayan. ICT 3 Intayon. Ito, mix ang to, no? Mountain bike and road bike.
Yeah, open naman po siya. It's not really a race naman po. These are more of just rides, no? Na hindi naman siya competitive. Siyempre, may mga competitive din na talagang seryoso, but it's not exclusive, no, sa mga competitive riders.
So anong goal ninyo with the Ilocos Cycling Tour? Kasi nakatatlong na kayo. You mentioned kanina, it's about yung tourism, etc. Are you raising funds from this event or ano talaga ang mga goals ninyo rito?
Yeah, all of the funds naman that we're able to raise are used for COVID purposes, no? Primarily for our MSMEs, are small businesses who were affected dito sa pandemya na to. So this is basically a non-profit event, no, that we host for the benefit of the province and our town mates.
So if you see this one that's being posted, parang buong Ilocos Norte ata yung dadaanan ng event, ano?
Yeah po, tama po yan, June. Especially pag sumali po sa 300, you can see na covered, no, from south to north. Our southernmost town is Badoc, no. Yun po
Yes.
yung sharing sa border ng Ilocos Sur, and then all the way up to Pagudpud na halos ano po, ka-border po namin ang Cagayan.
Yes.
So from south to north, and talagang ang dami pong makikita, especially dun po sa National Highway. You'll see all sorts of wonderful sights, including the windmills, of course,
Yes.
na nasa
Bangi.
Bangi, Burgos, and Pagudpud. No?
Talagang picturesque. They call it picturesque yung mga scenery dyan. I remember last year when we did the survey, we stopped for lunch sa Pagudpod, and doon lang kami sa highway. Yung mga kainan doon, mga karinderya lang. And then there was merong freshly caught na blue marlin. I think about, tinanong ko yung fisherman nung binenta daw niya yun, mga 15,000 pesos. Dahil 35 kilos or something or heavier. Ang laki eh. And then,
Yeah.
yeah.
Tsaka, tama
Yung-
po yan. Even our food is always our gulay is always homegrown. No, we're very proud of our produce and our farmers.
And then yung mga inihaw na bihod, yung
Ang sites, but of course also the food and the culture na may experience po natin.
yung mga inihaw na pusit dito sa Metro Manila na worth 300 to 400, dyan sa inyo, 80 pesos, 100 pesos. Sariwa pa. So, yung 300
Tama po yan. Siya eh.
So, 300 kilometers yung isang classification. So, that means they have to do the entire, what do you call this? Route?
Yeah, well, whatever they've signed up for, no, yun ang expectation na also have our safety officers along the route if they encounter any problem.
This is a one-day event lang, or is it until Sunday pa?
One-day event as far as I know po.
Okay. Gob, i-break ko lang dito. Shout out, watching from Batak, John Christian Rivera, from Lawag City, Fernando Dawang, June Mendoza, yung photographer ng Philippine Star, mabuhay ka, Gob, sabi niya. Si Vena Derit Villarosa, Greg Abelon, Saturnina Castillo, and Maricel Davad. Mga shout out po. So anyway, you have little problems with getting approval from IATF in organizing this event.
Yeah, we've cleared this naman. Months naman po, June, where we've been under GCQ po, and we ensure naman po na the gatherings are very, so wala pong talagang mataas na concentration ng tao in one small area. And dali naman pag nasa biking event kasi parating outdoors, no, parating spaced lahat. Naturally safe, no, procedure. So wala pong well aware, and I think confident din po sila sa capacity po.
Are you joining the event?
Ever
ICT?
since we've been hosting.
Medyo may konting delay tayo sa audio at sa video, Gov. So, are you joining the ICT3?
Ako po? No, not this time. I won't be joining, but maybe sometime pag ano lang, short distance lang.
Kasi di naman yung poster sabi registration opens January 26 something, and then in 1 month 800 ang na-achieve ninyo. Are you going beyond 800 participants or tama na sa 800?
I'm not sure. I don't think we have a hard limit naman. Syempre, we want to make sure that it's not it's a number that we can handle, no, na manageable po. But I think we're still accepting registrants naman po, and actually madami rin po yung mga taga ibang probinsya, no, na regional or even galing Manila na pumupunta, and in fact they can even make it a vacation, no, kasi we've been open to tourism since October pa po.
Okay.
In fact, we consider this part of our tourism push, no? Ito yung part ng sports tourism po namin. And we were actually the first in Luzon to open to all of Luzon. Sec Berna Puyat, Romulo Puyat of the DOT even came by. And we've been open since October 15 po for tourism. And in fact, today, we'll be announcing na we'll be easing the requirements para makapasok po dito sa Ilocos Norte, kasi at first medyo burdensome, no, medyo mabigat ang requirements, but now we will be easing it since we've seen we've had hundreds of tourists who have entered, and wala naman problema. We've had no link, no, between our tourism sector and our COVID cases. Wala naman po.
Open na rin ang mga flights.
Yes, PAL is flying once a week na lang po. Dati twice a day. Na yun, once a week na lang po, since syempre very hesitant ang mga tao.
Yes.
But meron naman po once a week. But siguro for those coming from Manila, pwede naman po kayo mag halfway stop sa La Union overnight kung talagang masyadong mabigat. But honestly, June, with the new highway, it's not so bad. Paminsan, kinakaya po namin ng 6 or 7 hours lang sa Manila. Hindi na po yung dati na 10 or 12.
Yes. And sa La Union naman, may mga diversion na rin sa mga major cities and towns ng La Union, di ba? May mga diversion roads na rin.
Yeah, exactly. May mga shortcuts sa LU, or yun nga po, kung gusto po ninyo mag overnight doon para halfway, no? Mag surfing, or ang daming magagawa doon sa La Union na yun eh.
So, nabanggit mo, Gov, yung minimum requirement to get to Ilocos Norte. What are these minimum requirements? Medyo nag-segue na tayo sa tourism, Gov, kasi magkadikit naman yun, sports tourism. So, ano yung mga minimum requirements na nabanggit na kailangan if i-fulfill ng mga gustong turista dyan sa Ilocos Norte?
Well, basically, yung pinaka-importante is the PCR test, no? So, we ask that isang PCR test na yung swab ay taken within the last 60 hours, no? Within 60 hours of arrival. So, more or less, that's 2.5 days, no? So, I think kaya naman po, kasi sa Manila, paminsan, kahit same day, kaya, no? Yung turnaround ng PCR. So, at the very least, siguro, the next day. So, let's say, that's 1 day. And then, yung travel time naman, papunta rito, is about half a day, no? At most. So, that's only 1.5 days, no? So, we made it 2.5 days para medyo maluwag, no? There's a bit of window, and hindi masyadong rushed ang mga tao. And then, beyond the PCR test, kailangan lang po ng TA, Travel Authority, from the PNP, and then mag-register lang po sa online system po namin. They can follow Ilocos Norte Tourism on Facebook. Doon po yung mga requirements and announcements.
They don't need to do, if they fulfill all those requirements, no need to quarantine?
No quarantine po. Pagpasok, basta't may recent PCR, walang problema. You can come and enjoy right away. We do, however, have my follow-up test po kami sa 4th day, no? Ito yung mga medyo long staying. So ano lang po yan, antigen test na 800 pesos lang po. That's if you're staying more than 4 days, no? So fourth day ito test po. But if you leave naman on your fourth day na 3 nights lang po kayo, walang problema, wala pong follow-up test.
I see. Pero as they pass through Pangasinan, La Union, Ilocos Sur, relax na rin ba ang mga protocols doon?
Yeah, alam niyo po, medyo lax na po yung mga checkpoint natin, especially pag passing through. Medyo alam nila na madaming pupunta, say sa mga northern provinces, kagaya ng Ilocos Norte, and they don't stop. If ever, isa-stop, siguro pakita lang po ang travel authority, and they let you go naman po.
Gob, may tanong dito si Gab Ferreras. Gob, sabi niya, sa palagay mo, ano ba ang mga areas na hotbed para sa mga batang gymnast sa Ilocos Norte?
Gymnast. Madami po kaming gymnast dito na magaling. Alam ko yung dating stable na magaling is sa Batak. Batak is our other city, no, beyond Lawag. We have 2 cities here. And alam ko dun kasi yung mga magaling na trainer at magaling na bata. I used to see the small children, no, especially mga babae na talagang magaling at mga national competitors. Yeah, here in Ilocos Norte, we have many good athletes, but yun, mga gymnastics, we have good swimmers, even baseball players. Sa Bana, meron din. So we're very proud of our national athletes, and in fact, even the dragon boat team po, ang national dragon boat team called Poway Lake, their home until recently last year. We were very honored to have the dragon boat team hold their training camp here. They held their talagang full training camp dito sa Ilocos Norte, and they enjoyed their time here.
Then nung 2019 Batang Pinoy, you have 1 gold medalist din ata, no?
Yeah, I think so. We had numerous participants Batang Pinoy. And I can't recall now who it was, but parang tama po, we had a gold medalist.
Yeah, kasi I also can't recall her the name, pero I was there din kasi sa Puerto Princesa during the Batang Pinoy, and kami yung nag-supervise nung race sa field cycling, yung National Sports Association for Field Cycling. Now, can you expound further on sa sports program ng probinsya, ng Kapitolyo? Not only for cycling, yung iba pang program ninyo.
Yeah, actually, unang-una, gusto ko lang i-recognize at magpasalamat kay Ma'am Helen Domingo, na actually Ma'am Helen came from the PSC.
Yes.
And sa alam ko, hindi siya Ilocana, but she moved here and is helping us with our sports programs. And we also have Fivo Bartolome, our sports consultant, at talagang active sila. In fact, their goal is to put up a training institute, no? Parang sports academy po, na ang pangalan ay Inspire. And yung in, of course, is Ilocos Norte. And we've been very active. In fact, in the meantime, we've strengthened our sports programs, especially sa high school level. We have a pool of provincial athletes who we train. Hanggang ngayon, kahit may COVID, we've continued to train and to supplement them. Kasi alam naman po natin that time is in an athlete's career.
Actually, si Helen Domingo, I've known her almost 30 years kasi when I was still a reporter for Today newspaper, the Philippine Sports Commission and Rizal Memorial was my main beat. So matagal ko na rin siyang kilala. So with Helen there sa Kapitolyo, you're in good hands. I know Helen will do a good job sa sports ng Ilocos Norte. And once in a while nga, nagte-text din sa akin, kinukulit ako, punta raw ako dyan para sa ICF. Pero medyo busy pa. So,
June, you're more than welcome here.
How about Mayor Michael Keon, we all know that he was the brainchild behind the Gintong Alay program in the early 80s. Hindi ka pa pinapanganak noon, Gob. No? Mga 1982, 1980. Mga produkto niya, sina Gigi De Vega, sina Elma Muros, and many, many more. Talagang ang national team noon, selected lang talaga 200 or so athletes lang. So, paano yung harmony ng Lawag City, particularly Mayor Keon, and yung probinsya in terms of the sports program?
Yeah, in fact, I think it was a few years ago. We met with my uncle. We call Mayor Keon MMK, Michael Marcos Keon.
Yes.
We met with MMK to basically consult him, no, on our provincial sports programs, and we're very fortunate, no, to have someone like him who's been successful on a national level, no. Alam po natin na I think many Filipino sports enthusiasts are very reminiscent, no, and recall with great fondness itong Gintong Alay program ng lolo ko. And we consulted him, and I remember he always told me that the two most important things are your coaches and your trainers, and investing, no, having the backing, the resources, no.
Yes.
So which I think we took to heart, and we've really invested and identified yung mga magagaling na coaches and trainers. In fact, siguro not to get too political, but I think it's very unfortunate, no, na pagdating sa mga elections, let's say presidential elections, never po naging issue or priority ang sports, no.
Correct.
So I'm hoping that in fact my lolo, even my mom always says, I wasn't able to meet my lolo, but my mom always called him a jock, no, and a proud jock at that. And I think it's unfortunate, no, that we haven't had many presidents that were very sports minded. Siguro President Ramos was the other one that I can think of, no, that was very sports minded. But I hope this becomes a priority, for the country, not even just necessarily on at a competitive level, but more so on an everyday health and wellness level, no, that we have to be more active, we have to be healthier. Kasi nakikita din po natin that when we invest in our healthcare costs also drop dramatically. So parang talagang may value po, no, in investing in our health, and that's why we also want to encourage our people to be active, no, kahit may COVID. Let's get over this mindset of stay home, don't leave the house. I mean, we need air, we need sun, we need to get out and move, no, of course with all the safety protocols in place.
Well said. I agree with you 101% dun sa sana, even though it's medyo political na your lolo and FVR set very good examples of their concerns sa sports. Sana na magkaroon ulit tayo ng presidente na talagang nandun sa top 10, kahit top 10 man lang sa priorities ang sports. So, Gov, we'll break for a while to acknowledge our partners here sa Business Mirror, sa Business BM Cycling. We break for about 2 minutes, about 1 minute, then we resume with the interview.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Ed, mga partners natin, please. Yes, we're back. Gob, we're back. Before we go on, I will just want to remind yung mga viewers natin, mga ka-BM cycling natin, na meron ulit kaming ipamimigay na cycling socks and bar tape. Dalawang set po ito. Pero may trivia question po ulit akong tatanungin. Ang unang question po, mga ka-BM, saan gagawin ang 31st Southeast Asian Games ngayong taon? Anong country gaganapin ang 31st Southeast Asian Games ngayong taon? Yun po. Unahan na po kayong sumagot. Ang unang sumagot sa Facebook Live, makakakuha nito. At ang panglimang sumagot, yung number 5 na nakasagot, siya yung makakakuha nitong isang set pa rin. So, Gob, we're back. Gob, everybody knows who Tommy Manotoc is in the world of sports. A champion coach, a respected basketball coach who won one of the Grand Slams sa PBA. And then also a champion golfer who never turned pro. Yun lang, hindi siya nag-pro. He remained an amateur up to now. And then before the pandemic, I get to interview your dad also sa PAL Interclub and Philippine Airlines Interclub kasi he's a regular fixture there, team captain, coach, and very quotable man, masarap magsalita para sa aming mga sports writer, ang naganda niyang i-quote. And then lagi siyang Kanlubang. He still plays for Kanlubang, correct? Your dad, do you get advice from pieces of advice from your dad, or if do you often also ask does he give unsolicited advice sa'yo tungkol sa sports and perhaps sa governance na rin? No audio. Yun. Ed, wala pang audio. Gob, nakamute ka ata, Gob. Gob? Paki-message si Gob sa okay. I think you're on mute, Gob. Siya ba tayo daw nakamute eh. Okay na siya eh. Direct. Medyo konting lang. Wala din ako. Pasensya na, Gob, dito medyo informal tayo. Yun, sabi ni Gob, it says the host muted you. Okay, while waiting for the gob, for the technical difficulty, uy, ang dami nang sumagot. May sumagot ng wrong spelling, merong sumagot ng tama, may sumagot ng mali. Ang tanong ko po kanina, anong bansa po? Hindi yung city. Hindi yung bansa po, hindi yung city. Kaya pag binanggit nyo yung city at yung bansa, hindi kayo mananalo noon. It was specific na city lang. Sandali lang tayo. I will keep on talking. Ito, mag-shout out. John, and then nabanggit ko si Grant Christian Rivera, kay Yuan and Naya Villa, Jose Carlos Sebastian, Matt Dayaw, Lee Contreras, Adam Ilagan, PJ Rodriguez, Jarvin Navarro, Steven Nameres, and of course si Jeff Flores. Regular po natin siya.
Okay na?
Okay.
Hi guys.
Yun, okay na.
What happened? Sorry,
yes.
I logged out na lang and then I logged back in kasi nakalagay the host muted your mic. But I heard your question, June.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks for the question. Actually, alam niyo po, I grew up an athlete also, no? I grew up with my dad on the golf course at night watching basketball on TV. So, in fact, before I became a board member, and even until now, I'm a PBA agent now. We manage PBA players, and it's my true passion. No, if I weren't a governor, I'd be happy working in the PBA. Because I grew up in the PBA when my father was doing the color commentary, sa Viva Sports pa noon. And so, in fact, I think many of my life lessons and my values are ones that I learned competing, in golf, in tennis, in basketball. We're very serious about our sports. We understood the value of working hard, of preparing yourself for the moment, for respecting the game, respecting your opponent, the sportsmanship aspect. So many things I learned through sports, and of course these are things that siguro my dad not necessarily verbalized to me, but through example, he imparted it upon us. And the one thing I can say, like for me, I was a very serious golfer growing up, but I was always glad that my dad never forced me. He always said, look, if you enjoy it, then you do it. If you want to compete, you compete. But I'm never gonna say, nah, you have to play. It's not gonna be something that feels like work. No, you still have to enjoy the game.
So you mentioned about being a player agent. Yes. Can you name a few na hawak ng management ninyo?
Yeah, our first client was actually Japeth Aguilar. We also handle Matthew Wright of Phoenix. They're both Gilas guys, and also Poy Aram, who's also now with TNT and Gilas, and also Jason Perkins, the former Rookie of the Year recently from LaSalle. So we handle about 30 guys, and my partner's dad is actually Boss Danny. Baka kilala mo po, June.
Of course, Danny.
Si Boss Danny.
Si Johnny McGuire of the Philippines.
Yeah, so I'm very fortunate to work with the Espiritus, and we set up our agency in 2011 po. So Espiritu Manotok Basketball Management.
Oh, I see. Oh, I will chat Danny later after the program. Sabihin ko sa kanya. Hindi ka nanood. Hindi siya nanood.
Medyo low-tech si Danny.
Before, when I covered the PBA beat, almost every night. Every game night, nandun si Danny. Pag post-game, kasama pa rin namin si Danny. So, we go a long way then. Kaya lang pandemic. And then when I became sports editor, I got stuck sa office na. So, I rarely go out on coverages na. So, anyway, how do you look? How would Ilocos Norte look like? You're a first termer, correct?
Opo.
And I'm sure you will complete all 3 terms. When you have completed all 3 terms as governor, how do you envision Ilocos Norte as one of these primary sports hub sa ating bansa? Kasi normally when you talk about Subic, water sports, and many more other sports, Clark became suddenly a sports hub because of they call this the Southeast Asian Games. How do you want to achieve such such a title as number one or one of the top sports destinations in the country?
Yeah. We've hosted several events in the past. We've hosted Milo marathons, triathletes, triathlons,
Yeah.
yung Ironman. We've hosted a lot of biking events, whether it be cycling or even motorbiking. Meron din. So I think we're known naman as biking destination, more or less. But we want to expand this. We've also hosted numerous regatta or rowing events. No? Kasi we have our very beautiful Pawai Lake,
Yes.
which is also underutilized. I also like to push for our surfing potentials kasi maganda rin po yung surf dito, especially sa Pagudpud. And I don't mean to brag, but our Pagudpud beach is much, much nicer than La Union.
Yeah, I agree. So, you have, I think, and I may say this, nandyan na sa inyo ang lahat eh. Nandyan ang bundok, nandyan ang patag, nandyan ang dagat, nandyan ang lake, and you also have, meron din yung batis ninyo dyan, di ba? Sa parang may mga resort doon eh, may mga kainan doon, I don't recall the name anymore. So it's a complete facility. Now, if ever you come, it reaches your mind na you'll be hosting a major or a regional international competition. Ang isa sa mga requirements kasi yung accommodation. Hotels at least 3-star accommodation pataas. So how are the hotels? How about the accommodations sa Ilocos Norte?
Yeah, our hotels, we have a lot na po, June. I'm sure you've heard of Fort Ilocania, for example.
Of course, yes.
Which is a huge hotel and resort. Even the province, we have a hotel of our own, na Plaza del Norte, which we're actually renovating. So we have numerous big hotels. I think wala pong shortage sa hotels dito po sa amin, especially now during COVID. There's an oversupply, of course. And I'd also like to mention, actually, we have our Marcos Stadium. No, this was our public arena. No, na may, syempre, the usual. It had a parang football field sa loob with baseball field, and then a track, a running track, and then a big arena with basketball courts on the side. We've actually been renovating this. So next year, magbubukas na po ang Marcos Stadium, and we're looking forward to that, especially sa mga early evenings or late afternoons for people to exercise there. So I believe our infrastructure, our hotels, our roads, everything is in place to host major sporting events.
Yeah, I remember yung doon kami nag-meeting ni na Helen Domingo sa Marcos Stadium, doon yung office nila last year.
Yeah.
So, yeah, when you complete etong stadium, etc., do you intend of hosting at least the Palarong Pambansa or the Batang Pinoy Nationals?
Yes. In fact, that was our requirement. No, when we were drawing up the plans and visualizing our arena, we wanted to make sure that we were able to host international events. In fact, that it was all according to the international standards. So we look forward, once this pandemic is over, to hosting people from all across the Philippines here in Ilocos Norte, and sana for a sports event.
Yeah, I'm sure your track oval is world athletic standard with MMK there. Kasi merong isang stadium dito sa Bulacan which is a world class yung itsura, yung facility. Kaya lang it cannot host international athletics track and field competitions kasi mali yung orientation ng oval. They put it ang orientation niya is east to west, which should be dapat north to south. Kasi yung direction ng araw kasi yan para hindi nasisilaw yung mga runners. The same way with archery, it should be ang orientation of the field should be north to south or south to north rather than east to west or west to east. So, yeah. Your uncle knows that.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. And then also yung may nakapagkwentuhan ako sa isang sports official, the Phil Sports track oval, yung sa Ultra, dating Ultra.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, the swimming pool sa Phil Sports sa Ultra. It's kulang parang kulang ng mga ilang centimeters lang, millimeters, kaya hindi siya pwedeng gamitin para sa official competitions. And then there's another LGU. I think it's in Palawan. Yung Olympic size pool nila, the mayor had to binakbak yung one end of the pool. Talagang drenay nila kasi exactong 500 meters, 50 meters. Pero with the touchpad technology, you have to put an allowance of around about 1 or 1.5 centimeters. Kasi pag eksaktong 50 meters yung swimming pool and then patungan mo nung touchpad for the timing system, hindi na siya 50 meters, hindi na siya official. Kaya most LGUs are advised to consult before they build the track stadium, Olympic size pool. Even the football field, meron ding sa yung FIFA certified dapat yung size of etc. Yeah. And then normally ang mga stadium there should be at least one press room and one interview room. Yun yung mga what do you call this, mga elements na kailangan para sa when you are hosting a major event. So anyway, andito pa rin si Gob, sabi niya busy siya. So anytime Gob, if you have to attend to your constituents, okay lang, pero masarap na yung kwentuhan natin. So sabi mo you played golf, you played tennis, you played basketball. Saan ka nag-focus ng madami sa mga sport na yun?
Golf po. I was a competitive golfer. I represented the junior national team, and then I went on to play NCAA golf sa States. And ako po yung parang I was the best golfer in my batch at least kasi alam niyo naman po yung dad ko. We come in batches. I'm of course with my mom. We were 3 boys, and I was the golfer, my brother and I. But I was the better one. So talagang we took the game very very seriously. But now may bagong anak na yung dad ko na is a very very good golfer also, playing NCAA golf now in the States also.
How about your mom? Does she do sports or she's very busy sa Senate?
Hindi nga po eh. Ang joke po namin is that stress is her exercise. But she used to be very active actually. Nung bata po siya, she used to be a competitive runner. I think she would swim also. I think naturally, very fit and energetic actually yung nanay ko. She's quite strong, but in terms of actual exercise, very, very little. Nowadays, she's trying to do some Pilates, mga stretching, just home stuff at home. Kasi minsan sumasakit yung neck niya from zooming all day. paminsan tatlo pa yung mga Zoom meetings niya, sabay-sabay. So, sitting kasi on the desk, diba, alam po natin, June, na talagang masama para sa
Yes,
katawan. So, it's good to, in fact, I've been encouraging her to start using a standing desk, yung standing workstation.
Parang
Yung
nasa
ibang-
cocktail ka.
Yeah, yung mga iba, June, di ba, may may treadmill pa, na may
Oo.
desk. Diba? So, but I think for our purposes, siguro standing na lang pwede na.
So, yun, the sports runs in the family of the Marcos Manotok. So, basketball. Have you played? Did you play competitive basketball then? At least at school varsity something.
Yeah, I played high school varsity sa Manila po. And then, ng college po ako sa States so medyo mahirap na, ibang level na ang basketball sa States. But I always dreamt of playing UAP. But honestly, siguro I wasn't cut out for it. And kung makukuha po ako sa UAP, baka dahil lang sa pangalan, hindi sa laro.
No, don't tell that.
Kasi Manotok.
Where did you learn your basics sa basketball? Did you go through a clinic or si dad mo na rin ang nagbigay ng tips?
Actually, late po ako nag-basketball honestly. Golf talaga yung first sport ko that I grew up playing with my dad. But my dad never really taught us basketball, funnily enough. And sayang nga eh. I wish that he were the one to groom us. But he always was more fond of golf. Somehow he would always caution us na mag-ingat sa basketball because syempre yung mga knee problems and so on and so forth. So he more I guess guided us towards golf, and basketball was one of our own love, no? Especially pag syempre pag high school sa Manila, talagang basketball ang pinaka-popular. So, for me, I was a big kid at mga 13 years old. I think 6'2" na po ako. So, I fell in love with basketball. But then later on, moved back to golf to get into a better school in the States kasi we knew na I could play golf at the NCAA level sa States at makakatulong sa schooling ko, sa admission sa States. But we knew sa basketball talagang mahihirapan kasi iba na ang labanan sa pagdating sa basketball.
So, when you played basketball, hindi ba naapektuhan ang swing mo?
No naman po. I don't think it's they're not what do you call it? Parang opposing or conflicting sports. I wouldn't say they are. The one thing with golf, the difficulty is medyo pa one way yung swing mo no? So your body can become a little imbalanced because you're always, well, for a right-hander, you're always swinging from right to left. No? So I guess similar to batters or baseball players, no? You only swing one way.
So how often do you play golf now dyan sa Fort Ilocandia?
Hindi na po. I'm retired. When I became too old to use my dad's membership in the golf clubs in Manila, I did not get my own membership kasi masyadong mahal. Alam niyo naman po, June, Ilocano ako. So, ayoko po pag bumili ng membership. So, I stopped playing golf. I kind of lost the passion for it. So, nowadays, I play basketball more often. Kaya lang, especially with COVID, talagang mahirap. Hindi pa kami nakaka-full court. So, we're all very antsy to get back to our basketball tradition. No, I used to play maybe twice a week. And so now I'm swimming na lang kasi wala nang ibang magawa. Puro individual sports na lang tayo.
Kahit nasa driving range, you don't visit the driving range anymore?
Once in a while. In fact, the only times I play are when I want to see my dad. Kasi it's hard to see my dad without playing sports kasi yun talaga yung basis siguro for our bond.
Are you also a vegetarian like your dad?
No. Thankfully not. Can't imagine being a vegetarian.
Mm.
But actually, June, alam niyo po, my dad is no longer vegetarian. He's eating more things. In fact, it ended up hurting him in the long run because he was
Oh?
eating too little variety, no? Parang kulang po siya sa mga nutrients and
Oo.
such. So he's more normal now. Let me just say, put it that way.
So he's already make pika-pika na lang siya ng mga karne na konti.
Yeah, he's having more variety kasi yun nga po, I think all the nutritionists would agree na kahit talagang kailangan ng variety, and that's what he was missing kasi for a while I used to say that he was eating like a squirrel, no? Puro greens and nuts lang ang kinakain niya.
Yun. So, Gob, almost 6 o'clock na tayo. As we promised, we'll keep you until 6 p.m. Dahil alam namin na it's a Monday and you're busy with your constituents dyan sa Ilocos Norte. So, before you leave, Gov, can you say something to our viewers and to our fellow Ilocanos? Makiki-fellow Ilocanos na rin ako, then Ilocos region na rin ako. Although I'm a Pangasinense. Yeah. So, go ahead, Gob.
Well, unang-una, thanks June. Thanks to Business Mirror sa mga BM ba tawag. Sa amin
BM
BM,
Cycling.
board member Yun
okay.
yung dating position ko.
Bukal.
Na bukal sa Tagalog.
Yeah.
But I'd like to thank you for having me this afternoon. Of course, gusto ko lang magpasalamat kay Helen Rose Domingo who invited me here and I think coordinated with you. And I'd like to invite everyone, of course, pinaka-importante sa lahat, I'd like to invite everyone to Ilocos Norte. Please follow our Facebook page, Ilocos Norte Tourism. We'll be relaxing our guidelines. And of course, sa mga cyclists po natin, please look out for our ICT, Ilocos Cycling Tour, which we will be continuing. Kahit po may COVID, there are ways for us to stay active, travel, and enjoy nature and the company of each other. So hope to see you all here in Ilocos Norte to enjoy everything from our white sand beaches in Pagudpud to our sand dunes in Paway to the windmills in Bangi, and of course, ang paborito yata ni June, ang Batak Empanada po natin. And special
Mickey.
insider tip sa empanada, I know this may sound crazy, but i-try nyo po with suka and ketchup sabay. Yun po
Ketchup
ang
and suka.
Ilocano secret.
Okay, I'll do that. May mga mga restaurant din dito na they say it's original na Ilocos empanada. So I'll do that later. Gob, maraming salamat. Hope to see you and hope to organize a cycling event dyan sa inyo, yung The Tour de Filipinas, if everything turns out well after the vaccine. Babalikan namin ng Ilocos Norte para makiusap to host yung race namin. So, good afternoon, Gob. Maraming salamat. Have a safe and healthy Ilocos Norte. Thank you, Gob.
Thanks, June. Hope to see you and welcome you here in Ilocos Norte. And so
Soon,
to everyone, to all the viewers, likewise, hope to see you here in Ilocos Norte.
Soon.
Salamat po.
Maraming
Magandang
salamat.
lahat.
Thank you, Gob. Okay, Ed, we run down again yung sponsors natin, please. Our partners. We're back. I'm back. And I'm alone in front of the camera. Maraming salamat again sa'yo, Gov. Matthew Manotok. It was a very informative and comprehensive discussion. Kay Helen Domingo, maraming salamat sa pag-coordinate mo. I know Ilocos Norte Sports Program is in good hands kasi andyan ka. Ngayon, shout out pa tayo yung mga regulars natin, mga suki natin, si Mario Guy, Tanza Cycling Club, Ronnie Mark Paulasa, Ilocos Norte. Masarap Mag-Bike Network, Kabatak Cycling Club. Inamag Josie, tama ba to? Watching from Hong Kong. Christine Jane Versosa from Nueva Eira. Si Carlo Modesto Abalos from Binyan. Si Eric Feliciano, ang ating former national team at flexible cyclist, nagma-mountain bike, nagro-road bike, nasa Qatar siya ngayon. Eric, kumusta ka na dyan? Ang tagal tayong hindi nagkita. At least friend na tayo sa Facebook. Si Chayan Hombre Bueno, shout out sa Team BRSB at Alexa's Bike Shop ng Ilocos. Parang narinig ko na tong Alexa's Bike Shop. Ira and Maki Barrera. Si Mark Anthony Cardona, Filipino Avengers. Si Spider-Man, si Batman, si Robin. So, we will be under time this afternoon, mga ka-BM. Magpapaalam na po ako. Pero hindi muna kasi i-announce ko muna yung winner. At yung winner, tatanong natin na saang country gagawin o gaganapin ang 31st Southeast Asian Games ngayong 2021. Vietnam po ang tamang sagot. For a little trivia, a little information, Vietnam first hosted the Southeast Asian Games in 2003. That was their first time. They hosted it both in Hanoi and in Ho Chi Minh City. Pero yung cycling nasa I cannot pronounce the word, the town, the province where cycling was held. In 2003, asan ba kami no? Yeah, Hanoi. Ngayong taon, November 21 to December 2 ulit ang Southeast Asian Games. Malamig po pag November, December sa Hanoi. When we were there in 2003, we had to wear gloves. And nag-gloves ako, pero yung nabili kong gloves pala ay yung gloves ng goalie sa football. Pero okay naman. So, see you Vietnam in November. Okay, announce ko na yung winner. Ang sabi ko kanina, yung first na magbanggit ng Vietnam and yung fifth na magbanggit ng Vietnam. Actually, marami yung nagsumagot ng ng Hanoi, Vietnam, which is disqualified kasi country lang yung hinihingi ko. So, yung first winner, yung number 1 na sumagot, kilala ko to eh. Kilala ko to. Si Dwayne Badwa. Andiyan ka ba, Dwayne? Tanalo ka? Ito po si Dwayne Badwa. Kapatid po ito ni Snow Badwa na isang multi-talented journalist din. Si Snow, kasama namin yan sa tour. Si Dwayne Badwa po, isang up and come. Galing na rin ni Snow. Pero syempre si Kuya mas magaling. Baka sapakin siya ni Kuya. Dwayne, papadala na lang namin yung premyo mo ha. Ito. Yan. Pero isa lang yung parehong kaliwa yung medyas, Dwayne ha. Yung number 5 naman na sumagot si John Christian Rivera. John Christian E. Rivera. So eto rin. So kontakin kayo ng mga ni Sari o kaya ni Faye para paano deliver sa inyo yung premyo ninyo. So meron pa ba tayong shoutouts? Dito, magbasa tayo. Ayun, si Dwayne Badwa sumagot. Hehehe, thanks again sir. Okay lang po, sabi ni Dwayne. Wena Derit Villarosa, congrats po. Still watching si Dwayne. Ba't ang dami mong chat, Dwayne? Ayun, si Mark Anthony Cardona, sana po makapunta po kami sa inyo po. Dito, Mark Anthony. Tapos si Jeff Flores, thank you, Governor Matthew. Meron pa ba tayo dyan? Shout out? Ayun. Si Faye, si Bricks, si Lorraine, si Sari, at si Director Ed Davad. Shout out kay Scott Madamba po from Ilocos. Happy birthday, Scott Madamba from Ira Barrera. Sa ano mo, Ira Barrera, yung ginulpi ni Pacquiao noon. Sino pa? Michael Villarosa. Congrats. Kainta. From Kainta. Ka-couples yan ng mga ate ko eh. Si Michael Villarosa. Okay. So, we have come to the program's end. Early. Advance po tayo. By the way, sino yung nanalo nung yung paraffle nating bike last time?
Susan Bermas.
Si Miss Susan Bermas, siya po yung nanalo ng pangalawang mountain bike na pinamimigay namin dito sa Business Mirror. Nga pala ba, nabuntik ko nang makalimutan, hindi nyo ni-remind sa akin. Meron pa palang isa. Asan na yung mountain bike? Na ipamimigay ang Business Mirror. Sa 30th episode ba natin ipamimigay?
Opo. Pero next week po yung bike.
Okay.
Hindi natin
ipapalaro na sa Monday, pero sa anong date sa Monday? March 1. And then sa March 8, International Women's Day, doon, ito daw, sandali, kay Jared Echanis De Leon, pa-shoutout po sa mga mababait na bikers ng Team Loki. Pag sinabing Loki, mababang susi. Tama ba yun? Salvador, yun, from Lonlon. Oh. Salvador lang yan, hindi Salvador, Salvador. Oh, yung pala, yung sa mountain bike, yung pangatlo, ipamimigay na sa sa episode 13, yung last episode natin sa season 1, March 8, falling on the International Women's Day. And hopefully, if our guests, star-studded guests sana tayo pag they are free sa kanilang schedule on that day. So, marami na akong nadaldal. Uwi na tayo. Oh, pakita naman kayo rito para alam nila kung sino-sino kayo. Ha? Okay. O, sige. There you have it. Tapos na ang stage 11 ng BM Cycling. Maraming salamat sa inyo mga ka-BM. Maraming salamat Boss Anton sa Business Mirror, kay na Ma'am Chuchay, Sir Butch, na araw-araw ay nandito sa office para nagsara ng dyaryo. Si Com3, salamat na nasa harap at likod ng camera. Although marami na siyang utang sa atin dahil hindi siya humaharap sa camera. Anong naririnig ko dyan? Until Monday, 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. on Facebook Live and YouTube. This is Com2, June Lomibaw, signing off.
Boss sa tatag, Big Boss sa tibay, Big Boss Cement sa tagna, di basta bibigay. Nandito na ang Big Boss Cement, matatag, di basta matitibag, approve sa kalikasan at sobrang abot kaya. Big Boss Cement, Big Boss sa tatag, Big Boss sa tibay, Big Boss sa tatag, Big Boss sa tibay.